Hi everyone, welcome to Diamond Dog Training. How do you train your dog to leave everything alone every time? You teach them leave it. Do you have a dog who likes to steal things? Like maybe they've stolen your glasses and chewed on them, or maybe just the glass case, or the remote control. Glove, sock, shoe, maybe outside they like to find that goose poop or rabbit poop. We're going to teach your dog leave it. So when you say leave it, your dog is going to back away from it, not touch it, and never go near it. So how do we teach your dog leave it? Take a treat. This is just a chicken treat. And I'm going to fold my thumb over it. And I'm going to put it out there. The longer Nikki sniffs it and paws it, yes, the quicker she learns. Leave it. When they back away, you say yes, and you feed from the other hand. The key to leave it is that your dog is never going to get this chicken chip, ever. This can be whatever you want, the glasses, the cat, the rabbit poop, but I am never going to give Nikki this chicken treat. We're going to fold my thumb over, so if you have a puppy who's trying to chew on your fingers, and make a fist, put it down to your dog and say your dog's name, Nikki, leave it. Yes, she can paw at it, she can lick it, she can do anything to try to get it. But when she comes away from it, that is when I will say yes, or you can do a mouth click, and you open your hand and give the dog a treat. So we're going to try it again. Nikki, leave it. Okay. So when she leaves it, I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to feed her. And remember, the treat comes from the other hand. This is what we called our puppy leave it. It's in our hand, and our puppy is learning not to touch the items in the hand. When she does not touch the treat in my right hand, she gets the treat from my left hand. And now I keep my left hand behind my back so she just doesn't switch hands. Nikki, leave it. And see how she brought her head back? Most dogs will learn this really quickly because I'm never giving them the treat from this hand. To me, this is confusing. So I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to feed her from this hand. Leave it. As soon as she backs away, yes, and feed her. This is the first step to teaching your dog leave it. Step 2, when your dog is backing away from your closed hand, is to open your hand, show your dog the treat in your hand, and if they come forward, you're going to close it quickly. If they stay away, you're going to immediately say yes and feed. Closed hand first, and then open it. Nikki, leave it. I'm going to open up my hand when she's ready. It's open. She's not coming forward. Yes. And I'm going to feed her. So Nikki is learning when my hand is open, she still can't take the treat. Remember, this is a treat I will never give her. Nikki, leave it. When she comes forward, I immediately close my hand, telling her that it's not hers. I'm going to open it again. She's not touching it. She's even going to look at me. Yes. And I'm going to feed her. And remember, the treats are behind my back in my pocket, so she's not just transferring to the other hand. Nikki, leave it. Hand is lower to the ground. She's not touching it. Yes. And I'm going to feed her. Good. The goal is to get this treat on the ground. That would be the end of step 2. Nikki, leave it. Going to put it on the ground. Keep my hand close. If I need to, I will cover it. She's not touching it. Yes. And I'm going to feed her. So now we have the treat on the ground. The third step with the treat is to be able to drop it on the ground. So you would say to her, Nikki, leave it. And you just drop it from close to the ground. She's not touching it. I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to feed her. Each time you drop the treat, you are going to drop it a little further from the ground. Nikki, leave it. She's not touching it. I'm going to do a mouth click this time, and I'm going to feed. You can say yes, you can do a mouth click, or you can click, or you can do nothing. But what you want to do is when you mark it with a sound or a word, it makes it easier for your dog. I'm going to drop it again from a little further. Nikki, leave it. That was a lot of self-control. She didn't come forward. And I'm going to feed her. Remember, the food that goes to her goes from the other hand. Okay, one more time. Nikki, leave it. She's not touching it. And I'm feeding her. Then you can switch to any item you want that you have that you would like to use. If you have a dog that likes to chew on your glasses, then you can certainly say, leave it. She's not touching it, and I will feed her. Leave it is very different than drop it. You'll see at the end of this video and in the description below how to teach your dog drop it. Teach trading. When you teach drop it, you're using an item that you've given your dog, like a toy, a bone, a chew. When you teach leave it, it's something that you never, ever, ever want your dog to take. That's the difference. If you're enjoying this video, please remember, subscribe to my channel, like, and share with your friends so everyone knows how to teach their dog leave it. The last step when you're using the chicken treat is to make it more realistic. You know how things fall off the table and they hit the ground? Well, that's what you want your dog to know, is even when it falls off the table, falls off the counter, hits the ground, when you say leave it when it's on the ground, they will still back away from it and not pick it up. So I'm going to drop it first. Nikki, leave it. She's not touching it. So that's your final step. Take it to teaching your dog leave it. If you enjoyed this video, here is a video on teaching your dog leave it with the treat under your shoe. Another video teaching your dog leave it outside. Please remember, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and let me know how your dog is doing with leave it.